So I'm ready to go. First, let's see what we have done in last session. So what we have done in the last session, guys? What you have done in the last session? So we focused on get ignore, okay, and we focused on get def, and we also focused on what else? Empty folder concept, right? That is what we done. And then I told you about the git rebase. So technically, you should know the theoretical stuff of git rebase, and technically in a real time, you will never get an opportunity to work on this, frankly. Okay, so not to be worried about this. So rebase, the simple command is git, we'll say rebase, and would put that commit ID. So that is what. So generally, this is handled by architect only after having lot of approvals. Okay, so we are not worried. You should know what is that. The next, yesterday I showed you about the conflicts also, right? So frankly, I would say that was very good thing that we were lucky that one of the repo had some conflicts. We saw in live how to do it. Correct. So conflicts would happen sometimes. So at that point of time, we need to take the decisions only there. So whether this code has to be there or that code has to be there, we have to take the decisions there. Correct. So that's the thing about the get stuff. And so there are some things which are not in syllabus, but being as friendly to you. So by a trainer or whatever you say, soul, whatever it is, I want you guys to work on these concepts also. It's at your end, guys. Not in syllabus, but I recommend. So see about something called Git. What is that? One second. Stash, yeah. I want you guys to think on about the Git stash. And I want you guys to work on something called one more. Git cherry pick. Only these two. Cherry pick. I want somebody to take up some responsibility here. So please investigate what is Git stash and also investigate what is Git cherry pick. And hardly, frankly, I would say this is 15 minutes knowledge. But working on these things is very rare in even in the real time also. But still, I want you guys to work on this and know the subject about it. And somebody make a PPT out of it and send it to me. Make sense? Who is ready to take this opportunity, guys? Who wants to take up this? So you have a lot of resource online, right from YouTube, or you can say, or internet page. A lot of things are there. You just have to work on Git stash, Git cherry pick. That's it. So Anuja wants to take up responsibility. That's good. So Anuja, just spend some time on weekend and send me the PPT. So once I feel that's good, I'll forward to your what I can say your WhatsApp group. So that's about the Git, guys. So no questions you'll face beyond this, guys. Nothing more than this. Okay. So that's it. Now let's move on to the cloud stuff. Git stash and Git cherry pick. Yes, those are two things. Okay. Now moving on to the cloud. Okay, so before moving on to the today's concept, so I want to give you quick information that a student from 30B batch, you guys are 31 now, 32? 31, I guess you batcher. So a student from 30 batch, his name is Ashish Patra. So let's take it A Patra. And he was a store or he was a manager in one of the automobiles companies, guys. You'll have showrooms now, vehicles sales. I hope you know it. So they sell the cars, correct? In that showroom, he was a manager there. So he resigned the job. He had 4 years experience and he decided to make the career in DevOps. And today we just started only shell scripting. And he tried as a fresher. See the point, he did not keep any fake. He just tried as a fresher. And yesterday's interview happened and he got it. That's it. I hope I forwarded the message to you in the team chats now in your WhatsApp group. Did you guys saw? The moral of this story is one good thing about the Patra is that guy started batting from day one. That's the difference. So he resigned from the job from the day one itself. He was sticking to the class and he was practicing twice and thrice every day. And this was his second interview. That's it. First one he flunked. This was his second interview and he got it. And he was considered as a fresher in the DevOps. But though he has had 4 years experience in other field, but from DevOps perspective, he got fresher job. So the end of the day, the point what I'm trying to tell you is believe in yourself. Don't listen to all third party words saying no jobs, no. Leave off all those things. You should be ready. This is the moral. You should be ready, guys. That's it. Ready for the opportunity. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Even I told you on the day one also. So opportunity will come to your door and you should be ready on that day. And when the opportunity comes and you start preparing, this will not work. Am I correct? Do you agree, guys? So opportunity comes to you and you start again revising the subject on that day, spend 2 or 3 times. By that time, opportunity will pick up another candidate. So that's the reason I keep on telling every day, do your revision perfectly, keep moving and apply and you get it. That's it. So that's the moral, guys. Okay, now let's move on to our subject now, cloud. So why we are going into the cloud? The reason is we thought of having the Jenkins to practice upon cloud, AWS, okay, rather than on VM machine. So that is the decision we made. Accordingly, we are moving on to the cloud. So for next, I'm guessing 3 to 4 sessions. So roughly we'll spend it on cloud, understanding little basics about the cloud, and then we'll move on to the Jenkins. Got it? So that's the scope of the class. Now quickly get your cloud notes. So I kept somewhere, I don't remember. So I need to search here. Okay, found it. So let's see, guys. So everybody knows the cloud, guys. I hope in this batch, I see almost like 30 people. So all 30 people definitely, they will know the cloud. Okay. So I'll tell you the best example how the cloud is. So everybody has the Gmail account. Everybody has a Gmail account. Am I right? Everybody. So whether you are, let's say, from techie field or non-techie field, it does not matter. Even these days, 10th class intermediate candidates are also having Gmails, correct? So the best example of having a mail account itself is a cloud concept. Comes under the cloud concept. So what is the definition of the cloud? So cloud is all about, there are 3 metrics to define the cloud. So let's see those metrics. So having the access to the resources, okay, using a network on demand. So 3 things are happening. We will be accessing the resource and that access is happening via network and that is happening upon demand. So 3 things are there. Accessing the resources, network on demand. That is called cloud. Now, if I take the example of a Gmail, okay, in this case, so we are accessing the resource. What type of resource are we accessing? Type. It is a mail account. Correct? Do you agree? Simple definition I'm bothering so that you'll catch the point. So my resource here is mail account. Correct? And how you are accessing? Using a network. You guys are not traveling to the Gmail offices, correct? Are you guys traveling to the Gmail office to access your mail account? We don't do. So we just access our Gmail account by using network. And how you are accessing at what time? On demand. On demand. So these are the three premises, or you can say there are three pillars to define the cloud. So you will be accessing some kind of resource, and that resource you're accessing via network, and you're accessing at any point of time. So at any point of time, we call it as on demand. So let's say night 2 o'clock, you can open your Gmail. Let's say afternoon 2 o'clock or evening 5 o'clock, morning 7, does not matter. So time at all, not a consideration. It is happening on demand. So these are the three pillars of a cloud, guys. Now, going little in depth of the cloud definition, here the resource can be anything. So you may be accessing a file, or you may be accessing an email account, or you may be accessing an audio, you may be accessing a video or a software or a hardware request and processing, etc. Anything it could be. Your YouTube is also a video. Whatever you are seeing on internet, guys, sitting at your home, whatever you're trying to open, entire concept comes under the cloud only. Clear? So that is a fundamental principle of a cloud. So cloud is all about having the access to the resources using a network upon demand is called as cloud. So these are the famous, everybody knows the cloud logos, I know, but let's see the cloud logos. So these are the cloud logos. Normally, people say these are the cloud logos, whatever you see. Correct? Then next, moving on further. So there are different types of cloud. There are different types of cloud. So 4 types are there. And these 4 types have been classified based on the network. Repeat, based on the network is. So first one is called private cloud. Second one is called public cloud. Third one is hybrid. Fourth one is community or social cloud. And if you're talking about the private cloud here, right? So if you're talking about the private cloud concept, okay. So the private cloud concept came way back with the invention of client and server technology. So the invention of the client and server technology itself is a private cloud concept. So this concept came way back in 1978. I repeat, guys, 1978 was the year where the entire world saw the introduction of client and server technology. And this was brought up by IBM. Okay, they introduced the client and server technology to the world in 78. So here what is happening? What is the definition here? The same. So here also we access the resources. Okay. Correct. The resource can be anything it could be. But the condition is the network is of private nature. So that's the logic. The network is of private in nature. Okay. And you are able to access on demand. So only clause is private. Example, guys, let's say you forget about work from home concept. Okay. Imagine work from home concept is not there. So don't you think you have to always travel to the office and work on it? Do you agree? Again, second example. So let's say you have some applications, correct? Like let's take it as an example of a bank. Okay. You will see that bank employees, they always have to travel to the bank, then only they'll be able to access the application. Do you agree? Bank employees, guys, I'm not talking about customers. You have the bank employees now, right? Do you agree, Sashul, Anuja, Atif, Chamundeshwari? So If you observe some SBI or any bank employees, do you think they are working from home? Tell me guys, frankly, whatever IT people are enjoying, do you think same thing is happening in banking sector? No, it is not happening. Correct? That means they are operating on private network, correct, internal, which cannot be accessed outside. They are following the same logic of private cloud. So whatever the resource are there, they are available anything. Okay, the resource can be anything there, but the network is private. That's the reason they are not able to sit at home and work. The network is private in nature and they can access on demand. But that private is, the clause is, it is internal to an organization. That is the reason. It is internal to the organization. That's the reason we are traveling to the organization and we are working on it. So that is nothing but concept of private cloud. And this private cloud, silly thing. See, now one interesting point. This private cloud, today, we can access this also from home. Tell me guys, how it is possible? That is what IT people are enjoying. See, whatever you guys work on the project now. So technically, if work from home concept is not there, imagine, or there is some concept that is called VPN, correct? If VPN was concept was not there, then definitely you and me have to travel to the office like bank employees. There is no exception. We have to travel to the office and work there. You understood? So you can access the private cloud from your home or from internet, I can say, because you're sitting at your home, or let's say you're accessing that private network via internet. It is possible by VPN concept. So this VPN concept came in 1993. This is one of the reason. So VPN enabled the capability of a private cloud, even you can access from the home. So that kind of an invention happened here. Clear? You understood now, guys, what I'm talking private cloud? So private cloud, basically the premises itself is you have to travel to the organization and it is internal to the organization. So in this segment, what happens is technology has grown. So you can also access your private cloud via VPN now. So virtual private network, that's the full form. So virtual private network, VPN softwares. The company will allow and install the VPN softwares on your computer, which will allow your network to connect to the private network. So that's a concept here. Then moving on to the next one is public cloud. So this is where the concept of this AWS or let's say Azure or this GCP or etc. A lot of vendors are there in market. So this is where the concept of public cloud came in picture. Now public cloud, the concept is same, similar. We also access any kind of resources. It could be anything. Okay. And here the premises of the network is public. It is not private now. It is public. And we access upon a demand. And in the public cloud, correct, one more premises metric is being added. That is, we access this, everything we can get it, but we have to pay for it. That is a difference. We'll pay for it. And this pay concept is called pay per use model. Pay per use model. You understood? So pay per use model. So I repeat once again. The public cloud is all about accessing your resources. It could be anything. It could be a file. Okay. So it could be an email, or it could be an audio, or it could be a video, right? Anything it could be. You got it? So that you're accessing how? Using a public internet. Got it? Using a public internet. And this public internet is happening upon demand. You understood? You are able to access all the resources, and this happens on demand, and we pay for it. We are paying it, guys. Definitely, we are paying it. Now, I'll tell you a simple example. Gmail, you guys are accessing now, correct? Are you paying anything? This is interesting here. I told that Gmail comes under the cloud, correct? Simple question, to access the Gmail, are you paying anything? I want the answers, guys. We are not paying anything, correct? Second question. Same Gmail, there is a business account, correct? In the Gmail also you have a business account, guys, right? So for a Gmail business account, we pay for it. So what is the difference here? Gmail, if you talk in the subjective matter here, does not come under exactly under the concept of public cloud, but Gmail comes under the concept of social cloud. Okay. Same the Gmail business, if you want to access, then you have to pay for it. This comes under exactly the public cloud. What is the difference of metric here? What metric is making the difference? Which metric is? If you identify that, you got your answer. Which metric is difference here? No, I'm not a metric. So these are the metrics now: resource, network, demand, pay. You understood? I hope you got the answer. See, resource, network, demand are all common in all the metrics, but one metric is changing, is pay concept, pay per use model. So in a public cloud, what happens is you will enjoy the resources. You can enjoy the resources, and you will enjoy that resources. You will access them by using public network, nothing but your internet, and you will access them on demand at any point of time. But we are paying for those services. That's it. We pay for it. So pay concept is pay per use model. So this is interesting again. What is this pay per use model? What is pay per use model, guys? Give me the best example from your life. Pay per use model. Give me the best example. Electricity bill. Correct. Electricity bill that you get is absolutely pay per use model. Now, rent home does not come under pay per use model. This is interesting, guys. So let's take an example and understand. A, somebody gave me the answer of electricity bill. Okay. This absolutely comes under. I'll agree. Yes. B option. Somebody gave the rented home concept. I'll not agree. I'll say no. Okay. C. Somebody gave SunDirect. I hope you know this SunDirect, na? This vendors who, right? So SunDirect also, I'll say yes. You understood? So what is the difference here? So SunDirect also, to my knowledge, I would say it is something looks like yes and no in mid. So I'll not agree. Let's not take it as an agree. But the best example to this model is electricity bill only. Electricity bill. How it is connected. See guys, let's say you paid the rent for your home. Okay, let's say you paid 10K. Whether you stay in the home, whether you don't stay in the home, it does not matter for a owner. Do you agree? You understood the concept now? Whether you stay in the home you are using or not, it does not matter to the owner at all. So once you take in the rent, you have to pay it 10,000. The assumption is you are going to use the home only. Whether you're really staying there or not, it does not matter. Okay. But when you consider the electricity bill, right? So do you get the bill for even not using? You understood now what I'm talking, guys? Right? So you get the electricity bill. Let's say you consumed 100 units of power. You will get the bill for 100 units only. Let's say you consumed 200 units of power. Then you will get 200 units of bill. If you consumed 500 units of power, you will get 500. You consumed 5 5. Okay. So minimum bill concept has been introduced recently only. Interestingly, last from 10 years only minimum bill concept came. But before 10 years, there was no minimum concept. Understood, Nagireddy? I'm just taking an example to make the things understood. So we just pay for what we use. Absolutely. So we pay for what we use. Or best example, another. So let's say you're buying 10 tablets. Imagine we went to a medical shop. You're buying 10 tablets. You pay the bill for 10 tablets only. Got it? You buy 5 tablets, you only pay for 5 tablets. So exactly here, we use some resources. For that resources, we paid. Even postpaid, your telephone bills also comes under this concept only. So let's say you have a telephone line at your home, postpaid, not prepaid. I'm talking about postpaid. Okay. So you have a telephone line at your home and you get a bill based on calls that you use that telephone, correct? If you have made some calls, accordingly you get the bill. I hope you understood now what is pay-per-use model. So pay-per-use model, guys. Absolutely, public cloud operates on pay-per-use model. So that is what AWS comes in. So AWS, Azure, GCP, these kind of vendors are there in market who are producing some services for us, and you can use those services for your IT activities or any other. See, the services are used in across different sectors of industry. Okay. So you have some services where IT people use, you have some services where retail community uses, you have some services where, let's say, banking people use it. Getting? So different services are being offered and they are being offered based on network, public network, and they are based on demand. And for the services they use, they pay for it. That's it. That's the concept of public cloud. Am I clear, guys? You understood the agenda here? The resource can be anything, right? A file or storage, or let's say an instance. On the online cloud, you can create some server and you can access it. So that is a concept of public cloud. Okay. So we'll see deep dive, but at this point, you need to understand the definitions. Okay. Now the question comes is how come this public cloud emerged? This is super important for you guys for your understanding. So in 1992, okay, before 1992, there was no internet at all. I repeat, before 1992, there was no internet at all. Okay. So in 1992, in United Nations, a discussion came up, okay, connecting all the networks of the world. All the networks of the world. So that discussion came up in 1992, guys. Okay. So frankly, this actually started in 89 and 88 only. 1988 and 99. This on table it came. The moment it comes on table, as you know, it will not happen soon. So definitely it took 2 or 3 years of time to come on to the action. So in 1992, practically the discussion happened. They have agreed that, okay, we need to connect all the networks of the world. So that is what happened, agreement. And that is the reason and organization formed which works under ICANN. We call it as ICANN. Okay. So this ICANN organization is responsible for the evolution of internet. Evolution of internet, and that works under UN. And 1993 was the starting or you can say journey of internet. And India joined this group in 1996. That's the reason in India you saw the internet was there from 1996. But there are some countries who joined in 1993 only, like US, Russia, and there are some countries, European countries and US. They started little early for years than us. That's the reason you see the significant presence of internet in their countries. Got it? But in India, little slow, way back in 1996. And interestingly, you have some countries in the world which still they are not part of this group. They are not part of this group, guys. So whichever country which is not part of this group, in that country you'll not have internet. Pakka. There is no internet. There are some countries in world still there is no internet. Can you name some nations, guys, if you're aware? If you travel if you travel to that country, there is no internet. This is interesting now. How many of you know this small journey story? First of all, Antarctica is not a nation. It's not even a country. Who is the president of Antarctica? Or who is the prime minister of Antarctica? So nobody stays in Antarctica, correct? So that is not at all a country. Got it? So there are little small countries in South Africa, North South Africa, guys, where there are two or three South African countries, and also in the North Mediterranean. I'm talking about North Europe. There are two countries which are not part of this group. In that countries, still there is no internet. So that is interesting fact. Got it? Okay. So since the evolution of the internet happened on this era, so this internet evolution made possible that public cloud came into the picture. That is what. So public cloud is making all the services available on internet only now. So if internet was not there, there is no concept of public cloud. If there is no concept of public cloud, then there is no concept of AWS, then there is no concept of Azure, then there is no concept of GCP. Are we clear, Kumar Babu? Kavya, Kirti, Shravya, Maninder, Mayuri, Maunika, Nagireddy. So you need to catch this logic, guys. Internet was a primary responsible for the evolution of public cloud. Okay. And that public cloud emergence gave by AWS, Azure, and GCP. Now, this public cloud, so don't think that this is one more funny thing people think wrong. People think that public cloud itself, the birth happened by AWS is wrong. It's not right. It's wrong. Because prior to the AWS, there were lot of vendors in the market who done this, who were able to do this. Example, Force company. Did you heard Force company? It's a company in US, guys. It's a sports company. It was rebranded as Salesforce. So Salesforce, one of the company which started the public cloud concept. Fact is that it is not AWS or Azure or GCP. So earliest people, or you can say the early man in this field is Salesforce company. Okay. Earlier it was used to call as force.com actually. Then it was rebranded as Salesforce. Okay. So these are the earliest pioneers in using the benefits of public cloud. But how come the AWS became great? What is the why the AWS became great in this field? Any reason? Tell me, guys, why AWS is became great in this public cloud business? The only reason why AWS became super great is their services. Whatever their services they have given, these are very wide. You understood? They are wide. They understood each segment of the community or societal, or you can say needs. And for example, for IT people, for us, you have instances for storage. Okay, S3. You know who uses S3 more? It's a government. So big banks, governments use S3 service a lot. Okay. So financial companies they use. For example, you have small retail companies, they use some applications, right? So understanding the needs of each sector, they came up with a lot of services. That's a big thing. So this is one of the reason why AWS became popular. Okay, wide services were there. And second interesting thing is freebies. You know, freebies. What is the meaning of freebies? No, it is not. I'm talking about open source. There is there is a meaning called freebies. What is a freebies, guys? Trial, free account, trial. See, guys, freebies means something like the best example is AWS when they adventured into the market with their services. They came up with a concept saying you can create a free account with them and you can try. See, you can create a free account first of all, okay, and you can try some services. Understood? Try some services free of cost. Not every service. See the interesting. You can create a free account and you can try some services free of cost. Okay, up to 1 year. This is the biggest, greatest advantage where AWS has done. A lot of other vendors like Azure, GCP, IBM brand, Bluemix. IBM also has the cloud business, guys. It's called as Bluemix. Okay, so they did not do this marketing technique. For example, Azure when came into the market, they said it is 15 days trial. They changed it to what you can say 30 days. Then they said it is 60 days. Then they said it is 90 days. Right? Now they are saying that new thing. Some dollars they will give in your account, and up to that you can use it. Right? Similar GCP also same story. They are saying that they will not give a money to you guys. Don't think that they are giving dollars to you. So let's talk about GCP. So GCP account says okay. Once you create a free account, they'll something like you can use their services credits. Yes, correct. We'll use a word called credit. So up to $200 you can try. Okay, but forget about others since we are bothering about AWS. So this concept of free account, try some services free of cost for 1 year, it attracted community a lot. So a lot of companies have experimented this. You understood? They experimented. They are getting benefits out of this also. And third biggest advantage why the AWS became super popular is this is the cheapest one. Okay, among big fishes. Big fishes means brands are there in Azure, GCP, Bluemix. A lot of brands are there. But among the big brands, you can consider AWS is the cheapest one. Again, beyond AWS, you have some small brands in the market where they charge cheaper than AWS also. But considering the services and quality and their availability, AWS is considered as best. So considering the availability, guys, AWS is considered as best one. This is a reason. Clear? Why AWS became popular? Services are very wide. You cannot compare. See, AWS looks like gigantic before Azure or GCP. Okay, a lot of services are there. So they attract the society, or you can say the vendors in the market by giving some freebies, and it is among the cheapest. And availability is great, guys. When you compare the other brands, its availability is superb. Correct. So these are one of the dominating reasons. Now let's move on to the. Okay, these are the rough year of evolutions, guys. You can go through the notes, but little. 2006 was the year of AWS foundation. Microsoft came up with Azure in 2010. IBM came up with Bluemix in 2012. Oracle came with Oracle Cloud in 13. GCP came in 14. And Dell and Apache Foundation, along with VMware, they founded a group called PCF. So in 15 and 16. So these are popular brands in the market. Among all these popular brands, AWS dominates market almost by 65% now. Even currently, it is 65% dominance is there. Now, moving on to the hybrid cloud. So what is the story of the hybrid cloud? So wherever you see the implementation of both public and private happening at same point of time, such a classification, we call it as hybrid cloud. Can you give me the best example? Both you will see that organization is giving public cloud, and the same organization is able to operate on private cloud also. Public cloud, private cloud. Best example, can I say banks? Do you agree with me? Actually, banks come under hybrid cloud concept only. See, bank employees will travel to the company. They cannot work from home. So that means they are under the purview of private cloud. Correct? Again, as a customers, you and me are customers to that banks only. Correct? So we access the resources sitting at our home. Do you agree? You understood, guys, what I'm talking? So wherever or in any organization, wherever you see this implementation of both public and private things are happening, and such an implementation we call it as hybrid cloud. Best example is banks only. Banks and even all your IT companies also, guys. IT companies also. You can take best example of IT companies also. So in IT companies also, you will have some resources which will not work. You have to come down to the office. That means private, paka. But you have some resources you can access from home and you can work from home. Do you agree? Yes or no, guys? Tell me. Now, one sector is exception here. There is one sector here which is you'll not see the implementation of hybrid cloud at all. Can you tell me that sector? You consider retail, you consider hotels, you consider IT, you consider textile, right? A lot of sectors are there where you'll see here and there these kind of implementations are happening. But there is one sector exception here where there is no chance of hybrid cloud at all. What is that? Hybrid cloud is not possible at all. Can I consider defense? Defense guys? Do you think defense guys will be happy to give operate on hybrid model? Not at all. No country dares to try the hybrid model on defense sector at all. That's a security concern, correct? So this is one of the sector where you'll see the exception of being in operating in a hybrid cloud. They always operate on private, not even public. They always operate on private concept. Clear? Even medical also, yes, I agree. Medical also, guys. Medical services also, you will see that they are entirely operate on private. Medical services also, correct? So that is one exception. These are best examples where you can say that hybrid, it's not a good option there. Now considering the community cloud. So what is community cloud? This is also called as social cloud, guys. We call this as social cloud only. Cloud, social or community. Now what is the premises? So it looks somewhat same to the public cloud, but one difference. That is, I already told you that public cloud operates on payment concept, pay per use model. You have to pay for it, right? And if you're talking about community, like Facebook, okay, WhatsApp, okay, your Twitter, right? They operate on community concept, or let's say Gmail, simple example of Gmail. They operate on community concept, right? Now, what is the biggest difference here is rights. Right of question, right of demand does not exist, guys. I put like this: right of demand does not exist. Let's say tomorrow, by chance, Gmail has stopped their stuff. Google company has decided that they want to close down this Gmail stuff. Now, do you have the right to demand? Tell me. We don't have right to demand at all. So we just use their services because it's free. We did not pay for it, it's free. So that's the reason there is a nickname for community or social cloud call. It is an open source cloud also. Open source cloud also they'll call it as. So in the open source cloud, you can enjoy the services, correct? But the services will come with some limitations, definitely. And we don't have a right of demand there because we don't pay for it. Let's say same story if you're talking about, let's say, Gmail business. So suddenly if the Gmail business has been closed by Gmail, Don't you think we have the right to demand? We have it, right? Because we pay for it. Then company comes under liability, correct? And definitely we acquire the power of asking them. So that is a difference. So in a community cloud, as an end user, you don't derive the rights of demand. So whatever the services are offered, that's it. Whether they are available or not available, you're happy or unhappy does not matter. Example, yeah, Arcute. Once upon a time, I think sometime back when I was doing my college, so Arcute was more popular, guys. How many of you know what was Arcute? Arcute. Raise your hands. There was a site called Arcute, guys. It was like Facebook only once upon a time. So when Arcute was popular, Facebook did not exist at all. First of all, understood. So Facebook came later. Arcute was once upon a time. So that was a popular. So suddenly closed. A lot of people felt bad. Again, they have to get adjusted with Facebook. You understood? So that was a thing happened. Okay. So that's all about the um, cloud, guys. This one, cloud. Have you understood about the cloud now? 4 types of the cloud. These are very basic, guys. Generally in the interview, for an experienced people, they may not ask these questions. But if you say that you are a fresher, definitely there are chances that you may face these questions. If you are a fresher, if you are experienced, no. Experienced people, this silly question they won't ask. So you are safe. But for freshers, these are expected questions. They can ask you, what is the difference between a community cloud and public cloud? Or they can ask you, what is the difference between public cloud and private cloud? Being as a fresher. Got it? Nice. Now moving on to the cloud advantages, guys. So this is super easy to understand. So first one, everybody agrees that it's a common word in the society that it reduces the cost. That is true, guys. So over the couple of years, IT industry is benefiting if they move their resources onto the cloud. They are able to reduce the cost. That is a fact only. Okay. But how much it is reducing, it depends on their use cases only. But definitely the cost is reduced. The next point, it is accessible from anywhere. Correct? So if you're shifting your resources to be operating from the cloud, you can access from anywhere. Even if you're sitting from Australia or India or let's say any part of the world, you can access it. And demand also, you can demand at any point of time. So this is one of the great thing that happened, guys. So way back in 2010, the cloud was operating only 12 hours per day. Then it was 18 hours per day. Now today we reached to a capacity that most of the cloud vendors in the market, they are operating 24 hours a day into 7 days into 365 days. So this is one of the great journey happened in the cloud. So don't think that way the cloud came itself with 24/7. No. When cloud came into the market, they said it is 12 hours concept. Then they said 18 hours concept. Then they said 24 hours concept. Okay. Now today it is entirely 365 days, 24/7. So this is one of the great things that happened. Now, fourth point is upfront investment is not required. So this is a great benefit. That is what I told you that public cloud operates on concept of pay per use model, or what you can say it is similar to somewhat post-paid concept. So you use the services, okay? After using the services, at end of the month, you get the bill. That's it. You pay the bill. That means first you're enjoying the services. See the difference. First, you enjoy the services. We don't give any deposit nor we pay anything. Right? First, we enjoy the services, then we pay the bill. So that's the reason we can say that upfront investment is not required. So this point is helping lot of startup companies to boom. The reason, if you want to establish an IT company, the most of your funding will go into the buying of infrastructure, guys, like servers or whatever it is required for your project. So most of funding will go into it. So this one headache is gone. So they're able to reduce the cost because on AWS or Azure, you can create your resources free of cost and we pay after use it. So that is helping a lot of companies to reduce their stress of financial problems. And one other use case is you have Netflix. Everybody knows the Netflix now. Everybody, what is Netflix? So world's largest movie vendors, right? So they are big, gigantic movie vendors. They are capable. They are largest OTT vendors also. Correct. Now, one good thing about the Netflix is they hold the Guinness Book of World Record for 100% cloud case. Netflix does not maintain any own server. They maintain the Guinness Book of World Record for it. Keep in mind that's one good thing about Netflix is 100% cloud. The next fifth point, maintenance headaches are gone. In a traditional stuff, okay, in the traditional stuff, okay. So Netflix is multi-cloud vendor. It does not depend on AWS. AWS is part of it, multi-cloud vendor. Okay, so in a traditional stuff, we have to buy the services and we have to maintain them, correct? But when you go to the cloud vendor or approach the cloud vendor, we take up the services and all maintenance headaches are not at all. So those are all taken care by the vendor only. So that means overall, the maintenance headaches are gone here, correct? And cloud vendors, on the other hand, they will take up all this responsibility. They will take up regular update, disaster management, support, license cost, data management, security, and everything. And cloud vendors offer a lot of services. This is one more advantage. Okay. Maybe let's say your company is, let's say you're planning to create some mobile application and you don't have competency. Imagine you don't have talent of, your company may not have talent of working or developing mobile apps. Not to be worried. If you have a client, just approach any cloud vendor and get the work done. That's it. That is also possible. So that is what the great thing about the cloud. The next, it is also boom for companies to focus on their core competence. So this point I learned or acquired from an online article. In a newspaper, I learned this on article. So there was an argument that there are some companies in let's say in society, let's take it as pharma companies. Okay, best pharma companies or medical companies. So they are not great in their IT field. Do you agree? Correct. Pharma, medical, retail, textile, correct? So their core competency business is whatever they are in. If textile, they are cloths, correct? If it is pharma, medicals. So they're not great in IT. So such companies definitely will see that they will struggle in maintaining the IT. Definitely, they will struggle in maintaining their IT stuff. So for such companies, cloud has become a big brother for them. Big brother for them. So they're leaving of this cloud stuff or what you can say this IT maintenance stuff to the cloud vendors, and they're absolutely focusing on their core competency of business. You understood, guys, this point? This point I read from online article, which is an author argues that this is what is happening in society now. That some sectors are taking advantage of the cloud in this, not only the IT community, they're talking about other sectors like textile and let's say pharma, they're taking advantage of the cloud. And one interesting point I'll tell you here, I want to take an opinion. Let's say you got a job in IT company and you got a job in pharma company. Who will have a more respect, guys? See, job. See, I'm talking about an IT job only. So let's say you are a software. You have a software. Let's say you're a software engineer in IT company. Okay. Let's say you're a software engineer in a pharma company. I'm talking about respect. Who will carry more respect? this you will only feel when you work literally. Who will carry more respect? See, designation is both actually. You are a software engineer in an IT company, and you are a software engineer in pharma company. Who will carry more respect on the floor? Forget about the society. Okay, I'm not talking about society here. I'm talking about internally in the company. Okay, internally in the company. So 99% you will have more respect in pharma company. You can put your collars up there. Frankly, I'm telling you guys, a software engineer working in a pharma company, in the pharma company, you will have more respect. The reason is pharma companies care about IT. They give more respect for an IT engineer. You understood? And interestingly, you'll get more packages in pharma companies only than IT companies. You're working as a software engineer, you get a job in pharma company, they'll pay you more, guys. I'm telling you, they'll pay you more. And if you say I'm leaving, they're scared and they'll offer you more also. So that's the facts of life. Okay. So working in a software company, see, it is something like we are a software engineer and my colleague is also software engineer. All fellows in company are software engineers only, right? But if you are in working in pharma, what happens is all are medical guys, biosciences, and you're only one, like a lawyer, like software engineer. So your respect will be different. Got the point of what I'm trying to tell you? So that is an experience I'm telling you. Okay, so in your career, guys, if you get an opportunity to work in any of the big giant pharma companies, don't leave that opportunity. Okay, if you're luckily getting like any pharma, healthcare, big retail, big brand companies, we are getting offer as software engineers, blindly join them. You get paid more, more respect, more hikes also. Hikes also more. Okay, so that is super interesting for the day. And we'll talk about cloud concerns in the next session, guys. We'll see the cloud concerns in the next session. And then we'll see cloud services. Then we'll move on with introduction to the AWS and then we'll create the account. That's in next sessions. So tomorrow, uh, any questions? First of all, do you have any questions on today's session? Okay, so coming to the question of the class tomorrow, I have some scheduled work tomorrow evening, guys. Sometime tomorrow after 5 o'clock, I'll be going out. Okay, so if I am scheduled work happens, then you will not have class. Okay, but I'll notify by around 4 o'clock in the afternoon in your WhatsApp group. So everybody are in the WhatsApp group now. Okay, so please check your WhatsApp message from me. If you see that there is no class, please don't join. Okay, no class tomorrow. If you get a message, if you don't receive any message me, so please join the class as usual at 8:45. Am I clear on this point? So you need to check your WhatsApp message tomorrow. Okay, so Anuja is asking me what. Okay, so very interesting question I got. Okay, so this is a question. So why there is a need for cloud is observed and hence. Okay. So I'm back, guys. So, what is Anuja? Your question is: are you asking about why there is a need for cloud, and you're talking about that? Yeah. Okay. I'll give you life example. Okay. So forget about this cloud. Necessity is the mother of invention. That is what. Okay. Nayak says. But yeah. So let's take it another example. So let's say there is a function at your home. Okay. Now, so let's say you have a function at your home, guys. Correct? Now, for that function, as you guys know, definitely we involve this guys. Who are those? They rent some items now. What is that we call them? We'll get some items from nearby store, tent house. Everybody knows this. I am talking about some life example, guys. Let's say some marriage event at your home, and a lot of people are coming. Correct? And let's say 20, 30, or let's say 100 or 200 people will come, and to cook that items you will not have enough vessels, bigger vessels at your home, so we take some rent of that items from nearby tent house. Correct? Do you agree? Right. So now in this case you tell me, guys, why we are not buying those items, why we don't buy, why we have to take them on rent, why we don't buy, why we have to take them on rent. Tell me the answer. Why we don't buy them and why we have to take them on rent. Correct? So, interesting premises here is that event will not happen on every day. So that means the item that we got, that is per use case, is lesser use case. Do you agree? Lesser use case. Correct? We use them less, only 1 or 2 days or 3 days. Correct? So for that reason, no need to buy. Right? Second use case, can I say that applying that first logic in mind, am I reducing the cost? Tell me, guys, am I reducing the cost? Absolutely. So lesser use case is one premises. That is one of the reason, and I'm reducing the cost. Correct? Right? So this is one of the reason. And third thing is it happens on demand. Correct? It happens. This activity happens on demand. Let's say you ask them, okay, please send more. He will send it more. Correct? That is scaling is there, right? So if you want more, he will send you more. Absolutely. Now one more example. Okay. So first of all, let's relate to this example to the cloud. So in cloud also, guys, if the project is for shorter time, will you buy your own shorter time? Means I'm talking about 6 months or a 3 months, guys. Let's say 3 months or a 6 months now. Okay, because we are in DevOps era, 3 months or 6 months time, let's say. Okay, will you buy your servers, or will you take the lease of the servers? What is the correct option? Lease. You see, that example is relevant. Currently, most of the IT projects are happening in short span, guys. Unlike in a 20 years ago or 15 years ago, we are not doing years on years, correct? So everything is happening in short span. The project comes, but that we don't buy servers. We just take the lease of the servers on the cloud. and we just build our applications and hand out to the client. That's it. Story is over. You understood? So we're able to reduce the cost. Okay. I hope you got the point. Who asked this? So we are able to reduce the cost. One more reverse engineering question. The same project, let's say, if it is going to happen for 5 years or 10 years, let's say it's a product based company and they have a vision of running this product for 5 to 10 years in the market. Now, in that case, do you think will they choose buy the servers or they will take the lease of the servers? What is right option here? Tell me, guys. So, premise is what? I have a project with me. I'm a product based company. I developed a product, right? And I'm planning to have this product in the market, supply to my customers, okay, or give the access to my customers. But I'm planning to have this product in the market for 10 years. So, under the circumstances, will I buy or will I take lease? So, in this use case, I'll buy the servers. I'll not go for lease because this is one of the disadvantages of the cloud is if time is considered as a fact, prolonged use case of the services for a longer time, cloud is not a good option. Clear now what I'm talking? So, Anuja, have you understood the point now? So, where the essence of the cloud is coming here, guys? So, the essence of the cloud itself is coming from the necessity there. So, when the necessity of the project is for a shorter duration, generally any IT company thinks about having commissioning the stuff on the cloud. But when the project itself demands for a longer time, then cloud is not a good option because regularly we have to pay. Instead of paying more regularly, we can buy the infrastructure altogether. Got it? So these are one of the dynamics of the cloud, guys. So cloud, one of the disadvantages is absolutely if you consider the time as a factor, for a shorter time scales, cloud is a greatest advantage. For a longer time scales, cloud can be a disaster. Cloud option can be a disaster. So you have to switch back to your tradition style. Got it now? Okay. That's nice one. Nice discussion on this. Okay. So we'll stop it here, guys. It's getting late. Absolutely, we hit at 10. And tomorrow, please check your WhatsApp messages. And if you see that a message coming from me that there is no class, please don't join. If you don't get, please join as per time, 8:45. Chalo. See you and catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.